Okay, this is a part of the class that you really want to get into. This is kind of your practical hands-on skills. Today we have an exercise. That's exactly what it is. It's a exercise or a lesson that I actually don't really implement when I'm live in the field, but rather this gives us skills that we will call upon later as we get into more complex situations and with more complex initiatives. It's pouring rain. That's going to make this exponentially more difficult for me now and maybe give you a little bit of a confidence booster. And I really do want you to replicate what I'm doing here. Whether or not you have success, that's not the objective. The experience is the objective. Please keep in mind, just for my own solace, I ask that you be empathetic. This is about the 4th time I've done this video, and technology continually lets me down. As you saw with the slideshow, that was very bothersome. There's nothing I could do about it. But I guess it's the COVID reality, and I have to kind of let that go. So what we're doing today is we're going to make a fire with one piece of wood and one match. We have a few different tools. You will not need all of these tools, but you will need some kind of axe or hatchet. I've got a 3/4 length tomahawk style axe here. You will need at least one type of knife. I use just a very small Swiss Army knife and a fixed blade knife called a Groman Canadian belt knife. And then you'll need a saw of some sort. I'm using a Pocket Boy Japanese steel saw, but there are many. It's nice and packable. There are many types of saws that work really well. Then I'm just choosing a piece of wood. I have a piece of Betula paprifia or white birch here. It is dead and it is dry-ish. It's actually soaked on the outside right now because of the rain. But keep in mind, the center of this wood is going to be dry. Yep, dendrology is really going to help you. It's best to find for this application soft wood like pine or cedar or balsam, but ensure that it is dead. You can use hardwood. This is actually a piece of hardwood. Hardwood tends to be a little bit denser, and that's okay. But if you scratch the bark and you see green, it means it's green. If there's active foliage on the piece of wood, it's green, it won't burn. If it's really bendy and flexy, it's green. Standing dead wood that is actually dead, is the best and driest piece of wood out there. That alone takes a lot of inherent knowledge, and I'm sure some of you will struggle with that. So I'm just going to cut about a, I don't know, 12-inch piece of birch off this piece of wood here. And notice that this saw, while very sharp, is dangerous. I can cut my hand pretty easy, and there is no medical personnel out here to help me, and I really want to be careful with that. Sometimes I like a larger saw, and they are easily purchased, that they tend to be a little safer. I've already pre-cut this so in the name of posterity, so we'll just finish that up. There's our piece of wood. I'm going to close my saw, and I'm going to actually put my lips to the inside of that piece of wood and see how dry it is. And it is pretty dry. I like it. You'll feel the moisture come out and hit your lips. And now I'm going to actually begin splitting. So I'm going to take my axe and I'm going to split on a wooden surface. Never on a rock, never on just the bare earth, but on a wooden surface. Not that traditional chopping block style, because that's very hard to replicate in the field, but rather I've taken this horizontal piece of poplar, or Populus tremuloides, and I have flattened it. So now I can stand my piece of wood, and it might not stand perfectly, and I'm going to take what I call a balancing stick. It's just a little stick here, and I'm going to set myself off to the side, choke up on my axe, and I'm going to split this piece of wood. The balancing stick keeps my hand right out of the way. I have this blanket here, so I'm just actually going to slide those pieces of wood under the blanket. Perhaps it's my jacket, perhaps it's my pack, perhaps it's my hat, which we'll get to later. Notice I'm not swinging this axe hard. I'm barely stepping on it. If I swing it hard, it means I'm out of control. Everything I do is controlled. Not to mention, in this day and age, I think it's fair to talk about how an axe or a knife is truly not a weapon. Popular culture has turned these tools into a weapon. That's not what they are. And in fact, throughout history, they've been used for practical purpose far and away more frequently than implements of war. So that's kind of a ridiculous sentiment in my mind, that these somehow elicit some kind of thoughts of violence or what have you. So I'm going to shoot this video in a couple different segments because it's easier to upload. So at this time we're going to stop the video, pick it up with the next round.